Good evening, friends. This is Neelam from Pune, India. Harshness of winter besieges. I disintegrate into bits. I'm reborn stronger. Welcome, friends, to this 12th episode of International English Poetry Meet, where we have wonderful poets such as Quyen from USA, Prasanna from India, Nishat from Saudi Arabia, and Nivedita from Bahrain joining us. Yes, winter is harsh in India during this period, which sometimes disintegrates persons and poetry both. But then things that break become even more beautiful. I'm sure that my poet friends will make the evening gleam with emotions. So let me first introduce Quinn. Quyen No has nearly 20 years of strategy, communications, and development experience for Fortune 500 companies, non-profits, and startups, getting them featured in
Hmm.
NPR, the New York Times, and more. She has published a melting pot of thoughts book series, including Four for Life, Miso for Life, and Kimchi for Life, a compilation exploring the many expressions of love through the lens of Asian culture. Quinn is a regular contributor to Christ's Ministries seasonal reflection series. Now pursuing consulting ventures, Quinn has started her own dessert business. My mouth is watery. So, and and she helps companies build their philanthropy and marketing and is working on a first book. Quinn and I connected during the making of the anthology A Melting Pot of Thoughts around 10 years ago, but we are meeting online only today and hope to meet offline too in days to come. Thank you, Quinn, for joining us.
Thank you, Neelam, and hopefully it will be less than 10 years the next time that we meet again.
So let me now introduce Prasanna. Prasanna's philosophy is that his work will speak for itself, and when requested to give his biodata, he just stated that Prasanna KKumar is a trilingual poet writing in English, Hindi, and Telugu who is featured in many national and international anthologies. He's a social worker by profession. Thanks, Prasanna. I'm bowled over by a simplicity, dear friend. Thank you and welcome. And now I would like to introduce Nishat. Nishat Jabeen is an Indian poet holding a master's degree in English literature. She works as a teacher in a very reputed school in the heart of Saudi Arabia, Riyadh. She is an avid reader of classical and metaphysical poetry, yet her style of writing is differently prominent. Her poems have been published on various platforms and appeared in many anthologies. She has received fondness thoroughly. She is a fervent writer and avid reader. She likes to spread her free time creating the craft of poetry and arts. She believes in a belief that the relation between creator and nature relies on humbleness, neither to exaggerate nor to diminish from a constant and moderate root of love. So, welcome, Nishat.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
And now, let
Thank
me
you. Thank
welcome
you.
our very own Nivi or Nivedita, who's
Mhm.
also the event facilitator for this event. Nivedita Roy teaches in an American curriculum school in the Kingdom of Bahrain. She pursues writing as a passion. She is a bilingual poetess come author. Her first solo book, Gallery de Heart, released on 15 December 2020. Her Hindi poetry book, Komal Ehsaas, released
Uh,
on 2nd October 2021, and I've read both of them and they are wonderful. She has also co-authored seven
uh,
anthologies since May 2020. She's the recipient of Indian Independence Day Literary Honors 2021 by the Writers Forum, Motivational Strips, and Gujarat Sahitya Academy. She is the moderator for the Bahrain office of motivational strips. And she's also one of the admins for page Neelam Saxena. So welcome, Nivi, and over to
Thank
you.
you.
Welcome.
Thank you so much, Neelam. And on your behalf, as you said that I am the admin for our page, Neelam Saxena, I would like to welcome Quyen, Prasanna, and Nishat one more time.
Thank
And it is
thank you,
time
ma'am.
for us to be introduced to our beautiful moderator from Pune, India. Neelam Saxena Chandra, a 1992 batch IRSEE officer and the best-selling author, one of
Wow.
the best-selling authors of India, has authored 5 novels, 1 novella, and 7 short story
Oh,
collections, 34 poetry collections, and 14 children's books. There is one thing that I and she will not add, but I need to add here impromptu. She has been one of the most recommended authors. Just a few weeks ago, by Neelam, fill me up here. Which sanstha gave you that title, Shakti Samman, and you have been the most recommended author of India and the utmost should be read authors. So this is missing in her bio. She needs to add that again and give it to me. And
Thank you
she
so much. Thank you so much for remembering that.
just
wow.
just came to my mind. And my Neelam, my dear Sapphire, holds a record with the Limca Book of Records 2015 for being the author for having the highest
Wow.
number of publications in a year in English and Hindi. She has won the second prize in children's literature by the American Embassy and in a national poetry contest organized by Poetry Council of India in 2016. She has been the recipient of Sohan Lal Dwivedi Puraskar by the Maharashtra State Hindi Sahitya Academy in 2018, Humanity International Women Achiever Award 2018 again, Bharat Nirman Literary Award 2017, Prem Chand Award by the Ministry of Railways, where she
Wow.
is appointed as the DRM, Rabindranath Tagore International Poetry Award, Soninder Samman, Freedom Award by Radio City for lyrics, along with the other awards and honors. She was listed in Forbes as one among 78 most popular authors in the country in 2014.
Wow.
That's our
Thank,
moderator for the evening. Welcome again, my dear Neelam.
thank you so much for your kind words, dear Nivi. So, shall we start our session?
Let's go.
You
Sure.
know, I find that universal love is something which most of the poets can relate to and feel strongly about. Boundaries, who likes them? Let's hear Quyen as she expresses her thoughts on the subject. Quyen.
Thank you so much, Neelam. And again, it is such an honor to be here with all of you today. My first poem is titled To Live, to Love, to Better. And I wrote it nearly 20 years ago, but the sentiment still feels relevant. Find the glimpse of a broken soul, perhaps not lost, maybe alone inside, feeling as tainted by the lack thereof, dim to dark night surrounds, filling with tolerance, an alliance of shadows. Why does emotion cause fear? Lost the embrace to relate. Commitment taken a con against the intimate. Perception becomes manipulatory. Speaks of nation, race, culture, belief, language, style, boundaries forced never to dissolve, stronger than all such visible. Pride has kept it to you or me, a collective segregation, needing to share, only able to vent. Speaking of mine, lacking ours. Can we form relationships thrust by us? Completion lying within that not seen. The reason, the meaning, the foundation, the truth of life is love. Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Wow.
Wow,
Quyen.
It's
Cohen.
beautiful.
So,
Beautiful.
very,
Very
very
beautiful.
good. Mhm.
Thank you so much.
So, can I ask you a question, Quyen?
Sure.
What were the thoughts when you were writing this particular poem
It's
10
very,
years ago?
yeah, I was in college actually at the time, and I was just very deep in philosophical reflection at that time in my life and just being very observant of what I was noticing around me and being in a very different environment. And I just felt this urge to let it come out through poetry. And it's just so interesting to see, especially with the politics in the US, how a lot of these dynamics are still very much at play now. So
Very well said. Very well said. Thank you. Thank you so much, Gwen.
thank
So,
you.
moving forward, strangely, women have always been the neglected lot because of their dangers of their gender since eons. They've had to fight for every little right, be it education, be it their work, be it their choice with respect to marriage. Well, one can speak endlessly. However, it is also strange that it is men who have often spoken about it and given the women in their lives the due respect and preference. So let's hear to the only gentleman in the meet today, Prasanna KKumar, as he renders his views on the subject. Prasanna.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. I'm elated. In fact, I would say one of my interesting subject is women, and I write many of the themes taking up onto women. And strangely, when I checked Messenger today, I found this write of mine, which I'm going to read now, has been translated into Spanish by one of these women, Claudia. I don't know her, but then I stumbled upon Claudia Ballester
That's
Tifo
wonderful.
of Spain, and it is really surprising, and everyone liked it. And the title of my poem is an ideal missus who wants to maintain the institution of marriage, and despite having odds and everything, and the respect for the matrimonial relationship and everything uh, that talks her and that she went through. And here it goes. She said to continue the story of their relationship despite resistance, held his hand with persistence. How in the world one can expect the crooked to be straightened up yet never dying spirit supported her fierce attitude of carrying life together forward. As a forward, she got the pat of peers, comrades of matrimonial struggle. The baton of determination is what she picked in the devotion of the institution. Marriage is not a child's play to break apart the ties of two souls, is what she understood the moment she took the education of societal obligation. Nay, even more is what she inferred of association. And so bent upon making fit the counterpart, the companion of short, yet a brute with booze and a violent husband so called that support, being a human
Oh,
with inhuman antics who dart around sniffing the scents of brothels, how in the world one can expect the crooked to be unbanned, yet she beat the deterrent blues with the solidity of inner fight and inner strength. They say even the rocks melt when poured on affectionate mercurial concoction. Yes, she proved nothing could break the connection when one heartily stick to the faith of divine spousal federation. That's it, ma'am.
Oh,
That's
wow.
wonderful. Very
ideal
well said. Very
pieces.
well said. Very well said. I have a question for you too, Prasanna. Who is that woman who motivated you the most in your life?
I thought so.
I don't, ma'am. Every woman that I come across, ma'am. That is the thing.
No, you'll have to give
I
one
respect.
specific answer.
No, I don't. It's not like that. I've been. It's like I've been surrounded by always with my mother, sister, and everyone. This thing.
We
I'm
understood.
actively
We
married.
understood. It was just to pull your leg. So let's
Beautiful.
move ahead. And expatriate. This word itself brings out so many emotions. The thought sends a shiver down the spine. The question, where does he, she belong to, must be haunting all the time. isn't it? Let's
Mm,
hear Nishat as she speaks on this sensitive topic. Over to you, Nishat.
thank you. Basically, this poem is belongs to the dystopian life, about the dystopian life. Neelam ji, you can relate, as we are living far from our country, so you can understand the sentiment what I try to portray here. This is a perk of positivity. This is the title of the poem. Here, I don't want to end this poem on the sad note actually. So, I took out some positivities. How can we motivate ourselves, though we are living far from our country, and we are calling NRIs in our place and expatriates here. We are not belong to any place, but still we can take out some positivities. So this is my poem. Title of the poem is A Perk of Positivity. A lagging dystopian impediment on a sulky spirit, striving for bread and butter to abide by, an unthinkable burden instilled on the strong back. Migration makes inversely vulnerable and forces one to taste sour. Helplessness screams and hazards screech on the vitality. At the core, verity strives on to thrive to survive. Like the flamingo and demoiselles, as they share the same flare of miseries, though they are not tired or wilted. So, how can I, looking forward to flying again, I am to strut adventurously, to go so far for the perk of vigor, without indicting destiny by naming frailty of fate. Rather, I'll take a glide to build my resort on the perimeter of the pinnacle.
Very
Wow.
nice. Very nice. Wonderful.
Thank you,
You
thank
know,
you.
I started with some lines. I'll repeat it again. Harshness of winter besieges. I disintegrate into bits. I'm reborn stronger. You know,
Mm,
these words came out only after reading the poems by all our esteemed poets. You know,
mm,
I could somehow see that darkness to light kind of feeling everywhere. And winter here indicates all the difficulties in life that we face and how we see positivity in those. So, thank you, Nishat, for the lovely poem.
Thank you, thank you.
And for you, a small question. When did you write your first poem?
This is, I think I was 13, but I was not, I didn't show to anyone. Two verses I showed to my father. He inspired, he
I
encouraged me,
think
and he
we
said that,
can't.
mm.
yeah,
What happened,
am I
Neelam?
audible?
Yeah, you were audible. Neelam, something happened?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here now.
Okay, okay.
So
Yeah,
I
Nishat,
couldn't
go
hear.
ahead. Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, so my father encouraged me that you should write some poetry. So whenever I felt like that I should write about anything, not about only sorrows, but whenever I felt happy, and so I tried, but never disclosed to anyone. Just I kept myself. Recently, I joined in on Facebook, and I'm sharing with you all, and I'm gaining this fondness from you all. Motivation, actually. Thank you so much for motivating me.
it's our pleasure to
Hope.
have you and listen to your touching poem.
Thank you.
Cut-
Thank you.
uh,
Thank you.
So
Thank
moving ahead, a few lines here. Seeing the skylines, the heart becomes pensive and still. Mammoth is the world, our existence almost nil. What does one think when the eve of life approaches? Let's hear Nivedita as she renders her first poem today. Nivedita.
Thank you, Neelam. So, the title of my first poem is Soul Seekers.
you. Wow.
Sojourning to pilgrimage, bowing before the Most High. O human, thou searchest for answers that do bring a sigh. Thy thirst is not bereft of greed, eternal life and lofty goals with speed. Pining for pleasure, you seek at leisure. Falsehood charmed, your soul disarmed. When the realization dawns, the soul for the truth longs. O seeker of soul, didn't you miss the point? Every time you indulged in lust, each moment you expunged love, a part of your soul was cast away. In that instant began the decay. Reminiscing the days gone by, this soul now is quite shy. Though cathartic is self-deprecation, falling now into the abyss of regression. Close thou art to the final destination. O seeker of soul, O seeker of soul. Thank you, Neelam, and all the esteemed poets.
Wow,
Very touching
it's
poem,
beautiful.
and yeah, very close to my heart among the poems that I've read. So, what made you write this poem?
You are the source of inspiration here. Ask me why. So,
Title title itself very beautiful, Soul Seeker.
yes. So I will tell you how this came about. See, we have this page of our group of Neelam, Saxena, and all the people there. It's called Poet and Writer's Den. And that's how I had come in touch with Neelam around a year ago. So they were having a, we were, not they, we were having a contest. So the title was Soul Seekers, and it happens to be one of the titles of Neelam's book.
Wow.
So yeah, so I don't remember Neelam who had. I think that time you were the one who was organizing the English contest. Am I right?
Yeah.
So
I
yeah,
had
so she,
organized and I was
yes,
giving away that book as a prize, I suppose, for that
yes,
contest.
yes,
Okay, and now I
and
remember.
I happened to win the first prize, if I'm not
Oh.
mistaken,
Wow.
for this poem. Yeah. See,
That's so
Anjali
wonderful.
Di is also saying that it was a very interesting topic. Yes. So, time now, dear esteemed poets, to listen to the first poem, which will be rendered by Neelam Saxena herself. The poem is titled Widowed at 17. This poem is related to the shocking and gruesome custom of shaving the head of widows and sending them to the holy places. And I will not take any of Neelam's time, and I will just invite her to the stage to tell us something about it and then render her poem. Welcome, Neelam.
Thank you, dear Nivi. So here goes my poem. At 16, married. At 17, widowed. Before I learned what is life, my existence has been hollowed.
Mm.
I'm only a teen, and I love to dance and sing. My unseen husband's death has plucked out all my zing. The vibrancy replaced by white, my head shaved, all hair gone. The lanes of my life murky and forlorn. As I sit on the steps of the ghats of the city holy, I wonder why I was born. What had I done to get this life ghastly? Packed off by my parents. After all, I was only a daughter. Discarded by my in laws, I lie here in front of Lord's altar. Watch I the reflection of my tattered self in the river. My past appears as a mystery and my future a blur. So that was my poem, Widowed at
So,
17.
so powerful,
Beautiful.
Neelam, and
Oh
so
my.
beautifully written. Heart touching.
Thank you so much.
Heart wrenching, wallahi. It's
Hmm.
beautiful, Neelam.
Thank you. This was written during my school days. I once visited Mathura, and I
Mm-hmm.
found so many widows there sitting like that in white saris, and
Mm-hmm.
I didn't understand what it was. And I asked my mother, what is it actually happening? So then,
Mm-hmm.
when I was told about this, naturally my eyes were moist, and these words came out.
We can feel these feelings in your poem. Beautiful poem, Wallahi. It's beautiful.
Thank you so much. So let's move ahead to round two.
Yeah.
And Nidhi has been highlighting a few comments. We
Mm-hmm.
are very grateful to the viewers. If you would like to say something about the comments, Nivi.
I would like to welcome all the viewers on behalf of the whole panel today. Neelam, Quyen, Prasanna ji, Nishat, and myself. And it's such a pleasure to see Anjali Didi, Ashif Kakkarji, Shweta Khanna, Neena Rally, and I saw Annu Bhaiya also some time ago. Sarita was here, Anand Kumar Pandey ji, and Mahendra Kamat ji, Gayatri Joshi. Welcome each one of you, and also very grateful that you are standing by, supporting us, and listening to our poems. And now Neelam would take us to the second round. The train goes coo.
After all, I'm a railway person.
You are a railway person.
So the train has to move on.
Yes.
So, friends, do you know what the word kintsugi means? I suppose most of us do. It's a
Mm-hmm.
Japanese art in which a broken pot is put together using a golden powder. Let me tell you,
Wow.
friends, when
Mhm.
Mm.
so let me tell you, friends, when I first saw such a pot, I was amazed. It was even more beautiful than the original. Nishat, let's hear your poem on the topic.
Beautiful.
The main theme of the poem Boon, here I try to convey that tests will come in our life to teach us something. Every
Mm-hmm.
test, what is given, we are not actually not in the total loss. They teach us something from that test or loss or something we can get and incur experience of millions. We can get many things that next time we will not repeat even. So here I try to take out again the positivity is the theme of the poem. Again I try to put some positivity in my poem. So see, this is the boon is driving from the test actually. In short, if
Okay.
I tell this about my poem, so here it is. Boon, a whiff of woes can't resist my dreams voltage from the distinction. Pinch of agonies merely capable to create some bizarre stumbles, yet cannot stop my flow of stream from the desired fate. If it would be a matter of survival for my own, I would have sunk in the depth of life, or I would have a chime to sing on octar to seduce melancholy. I wouldn't put myself in the trials of tribulations. Rather, I would have slipped in the ragged cloak to avoid living. Since cutest blessings banged on me with a great duty to raise and rise together. A pair of wings fluttering together, mine to collect the nectar for a whole lineage. I don't have a single intention to enroll in any absurdity, and nonchalance of any manner is not formulated for me to bring a sway of death. Yet I am obliged to tow the weight of commitments that made me realize my existence. The burden of obligation isn't a curse but a boon of superiority. I am one of the chosen, kowtowing my existence to the glory of Supreme.
Wow,
This
Nishat.
is
Very nice,
thank you,
very nice.
thank you, thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
dear
you.
Nishat.
Thank you so much.
I somehow believe that poems themselves are micro stories.
Hmm.
And today we've had the pleasure of listening to such wonderful tales. In short, I can say that a casket full of stories we present from the ocean of our feelings and mood. Some bring with it a tempest of tears, some make you sit and brood. There are a few pearls of optimism too, which are lustrous and multi hued.
Wow.
So, Quinn, what's the story you are going to narrate?
Neelam, I love that you just said ocean of feelings. That is exactly
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm feeling as I'm about to share. This is a reflection of a journey of discovery called The Greatest Story Ever Told. Let me tell you a story, just once, fully through. Tell you a story of a one, never two. Secrets revealed, truth to remain. Layers love peeled, not heard of the same. Dream to discover, fear ever tamed. Treasure uncovered, learned now the name. Life not repeated, depths to abound. Soul such so heated, pathways unfound. Tell me a story, never known, new. No more replays, let fire spark too. Peace, love, joy, hope, pain, suffering real. Deepening presence beyond what just feels. Tell me a story, I'll tell you a story. Would you believe that it's true? Hear the one story, the only one story. Believe now, it's you.
So beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Very nice, very nice.
Beautiful
Hmm.
point.
Not only do you write beautifully, but you also render beautifully.
Render
Oh,
beautifully.
thank you. This is my
Wow.
first time, so
So, moving ahead, a few lines. The deep ocean inside the heart opens to the feelings of love on its own, just like the petals of lotus unlock to the first appearance of the dawn. So, Nivedita, I was eagerly waiting for your views on love, obviously in the form of a poem. Could you please share with us and the audience?
Sure. Thank you so much, Neelam. I will just take an extra 1 minute if you allow me. I love the, one phrase that Prasanna ji used, which says spousal federation. I am really hung up on that word and I wanted to say something. I really enjoy that new concoction of a relationship. So, Prasanna ji, with due respect to all the ladies here, I would like you to especially pay attention to my poem, which is talking a bit about, a lot about
Love.
romance, actually, not bit. It's totally dipped in romance. So, the poetry is titled The Love Hiding Beneath My Skin. The love hiding beneath my skin crawls to the heart within. While on its way, it tingles my skin. I wonder if the pores would let it ooze out. But this thick skin of mine feels the drought. It flouts the norms of my anatomy, connects all the vitals to feel the love symphony. And as the orchestra begins the crescendo, my skin blushes to the rise in its tempo. Thank you, Neelam. That was my
Wonderful,
love poem.
wonderful,
Beautiful. Beautiful.
wonderful. May you always be dripping and dipping in love.
Thank you, Neelam.
so,
Thank you.
so moving ahead, a few lines. In the mirage of mirror, difficult it is to distinguish between the truth and the fake. Remove that layer of lens on your eyes, and the fake shall rattle like a snake. So, Prasanna, what's truth according to you? And who's a seeker of truth?
Ma'am, I mean, before, before beginning flouts the norms of anatomy. I think we should have this subtle poetic, what do you call it? I mean, erotic poetic.
It's
I mean,
busted.
Prasanna is
beautiful. I
happy.
mean, it is.
Yeah.
I mean, it is so delicate and it's so subtle and it is not overboard and everything is such a beautifully list in the words and that's the beauty of the poetry. Like Quyen, Nishat, ma'am, and everyone said. So I mean, it's like I mean.
So
Okay,
sweet.
okay, moving ahead. I think this is the man who is the seeker of the truth. I think people consider him to be a about, and is I think, what do you call? He is about himself, but
Mm-hmm.
yet he considered himself to be very humble and so on. So he's a seeker of the truth. He talks about he's a spiritual master, though, but he is very much humble. He is so he says so. That is what this poem talks about as a story. What you said, like seeker of
So
truth.
let's hear
I
it
may
from
not
you.
be the man I may not be I may not be the man of dreams. I may not be the man of dreams, nor might not be a charming mister. Yes, I can't be denied the place of niche of exotic significance. I carry the fragrance of beguiling mass magnetic force, enticing the ambience that encircled my spiritual territories. Yes, I draw the effervescent smiles as one come near to feel my esoteric presence. Rest assured, for I'm sure nobody repented having neared me to kiss the palm I for once laid my looks on their face, felt the jolt of resonance. As they whispered in the cosmic trance, with the release of emotions, some claimed and become jealous to have my glimpse. I said, I'm just an ordinary ascetic of no nonsense. You may take me as an embodiment of stillness. I am neither a man of dreams nor a charming figure. I am a man to seek the truth of self on this furor of temporal and corner planet of human race.
Wow.
That's it,
Very
ma'am.
What
nice.
a what
Very
an
nice.
Seeker
aesthetic.
of
Very
truth.
nice. Very well said.
Hmm. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Very beautiful. So
Thank you,
from
ma'am. Thank
the
you.
ascetic saint, let's move on to something that our Neelam wants to share with us. And as they say, there is something about childhood friends that you just can't replace. Friendship
Wow.
isn't a big thing, but it's a million little things. And Neelam is going to take us on a small journey of childhood friends. Welcome, Neelam.
Wow.
The stage is all yours.
Thank you, dear. Thank you. So, Nivi has already stated the title of my poem, and here goes my poem. Their eyes are so penetrating that they can disrobe the deepest secret hidden so well in the innermost chamber of your steel heart.
Correct.
Their noses are so big that they can smell all the blooms of happiness and sadness in the garden of your life. Their ears are so sharp that they can hear the lonesome tear which you have carefully lodged inside your eyelids. And their touch is so caring that without their speaking a single word, you know that they have downloaded all your emotions in the pen drive of their souls.
Wow.
So these are the childhood friends we
So
all
Beautiful.
revere,
beautiful.
we all
Yeah.
have in our lives, and we all always keep them close to us.
Very well said. Simply, but very profound.
Sure.
Very profound.
So, thank you, friends. Our session comes to an end here. It was very nice listening to all of you, Gwen, Prasanna,
Mm.
Nishat, Nivi. And I can't praise myself, so I'll pass it over.
And you
Let me
too,
do that for
Neelam.
you. Quyen, it was a pleasure listening to both your powerful poems.
I'm inviting you all to say something. It looks like that, but doesn't matter. So it was really nice, and it was a very wonderful session and with the range of emotions. So if any of you wants to share something, the stage is all yours. Uh, Anybody?
I just want to say thank you again, Neelam, and to meet all of you. This has been such an honor, and it's been so meaningful for me personally. So just thank you again, and thank you so much to everyone who
Thank you
joined and
so
all your lovely comments. It means a lot.
Thank
Be
you,
a
Quyen.
part of a group, it would be our pleasure.
Yes, please.
Prasanna, Nishat,
Yes,
Thank you
ma'am.
so
Thank
much for
you.
having me here.
Thank
And
you
you
for.
gave,
Thank you.
yes,
Nivi,
Prasanna,
you.
please, please.
Yeah, Prasanna, please.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Sorry for that interruption, and thank you for having me here. Thank you for conceiving this beautiful event. It was so lively and with more profound poetry and very thoughtful ones too. And so it is more of learning for me. And thanks for having me once again. Thank you, Nishat, Jabeen, ma'am, Queen, Neelam,
Thank
Saxena,
you.
Nivedita, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you so much. I learned many
Nivi,
things from Neelam ji and Nivedita ji. Thank you so much for having me here and for inviting me. Thank you, Quyen. Your way of presentation is really very beautiful. You inspired me. I hope we will meet again in the next sessions and all. Really, it's beautiful.
sure.
Prasanna ji, you are so humble. You are so kind. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank
Nishat.
you, ma'am.
Thank you so
And
much.
Nivi, would you like to add some spice?
My usual spice. Yeah. I Today actually everybody made me for a change. I don't have a spice. You can say I can have some mix of spices from Kingdom of Bahrain. It's such a pleasure to share the stage with Neelam. Of course, you are a pleasure always. Good to know Quyen, good to know Prasannaji, good to know Nishat. And
Thank
Nishat,
you.
also, when you read the poem of expatriates, I am one person here who could
Yeah.
easily relate to you. Nishat and me are just 50 minutes apart. We are
But I
just
have to take
connected to a
visa to
bridge.
come to you. If I'm
But she still needs a visa to come to my country.
yeah.
Yeah,
See the importance of today's meeting that Salman Khan is here in Riyadh and
I
I am sitting with you.
know.
Yeah, I
So we
denied
are,
to my
we are
husband that I
greater
said
than
no,
him.
I can't come.
Oh,
I
you.
have I have a commitment here. I can't come with you. And they said that because of you, we are canceling. We are not going to Salman Khan. I said that Salman
Oh.
Khan is not important than my Nivedita ji. Thank you, Nivedita.
That's so sweet of you. That's so sweet of
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. Thank
Really?
you. Neelamji,
Yeah,
this is the
wonderful.
first time that I'm meeting to you. Really, you are very sweet. Very sweet. What happened to your camera? It is got stuck.
Yeah, Neelam, actually, you are frozen, dear.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
happened to your camera? We can hear you, but you aren't moving.
We
I'm
want to
not
see this
moving.
active
Now,
smile on your face.
Yes, you have a beautiful smile.
you have a beautiful smile, but you're frozen with that smile.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me leave the studio and come back.
Okay, do that. I shall wait, let you enter again. So, Quyen and Prasannaji, actually, what Nishat is talking about is in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia today, one of the very, very popular Hindi movie stars is doing a live show. So this is the first time in many years that this is happening for the first time in Saudi Arabia. And now that the flights have opened and things are a little better, this is the 1 in a million thing that has happened this part of the world. So everyone is very excited. So let me add Neelam to the stream. Welcome back, Neelam.
Thank you. Thank you.
Shake your head so that we know you are moving.
So,
You had
See,
the
I didn't
sweetest
want
smile
to
on your
lose the.
face when you were frozen.
Yeah, I didn't want to lose this thing, especially what we are sharing now. So I canceled the Salman Khan.
Yeah.
such wonderful moments we shared today.
Yes.
So,
Yeah,
thanks to all of you from the deepest corners of my heart. Thanks to our
thank you,
viewers who
Neelamji.
are with us throughout, and hope to see you all once again.
Very
This is
soon.
I
Neelam
hope to.
signing off from Pune, India.
Thank you,
Good
thank you.
night
Thank you
from
so much.
Good
Bahrain.
Good
Take
night,
night.
good
care.
night.
Good night.
Take care,
Wonderful
Quyen, Nishat.
weekend.
Good to see you
Good.
all. Thank you very much.